My child, hear me now, because I will not soften what must be said. Something is coming tonight, and it will shake a part of your life you thought was settled. This is not a passing word. This is urgent, and it is meant for you alone. I have called to you again and again. You felt it in the quiet moments that pull inside your chest, and you pushed it away. You told yourself it was nothing. You filled the silence with noise so you would not have to answer me. But I do not stop speaking simply because you stopped listening. Understand why my voice carries this weight tonight. It is not anger. I am not speaking against you. I am speaking for you. Time is tightening around a matter in your life, and I refuse to let you walk into it blind. What unfolds in the coming hours will either become a blessing or a burden, and the difference lies in how you receive what I am telling you now. You have felt a strange heaviness lately. You could not name it, but it followed you through your days and pressed on you at night. Hear me. That heaviness is not fear. It is awareness. It is my hand preparing your heart for what you could not yet see. I see what forms behind the walls of your life, and I am calling you before it arrives. There are movements around you that you have not noticed, decisions being made where you cannot hear them, intentions taking shape in hearts you cannot fully see into. I know every one of them. Nothing that happens tonight will happen outside my sight, and nothing will catch me by surprise, even if it catches you. So slow down. Set aside what occupied you and listen with your whole heart. This is not a small warning tucked into an ordinary hour. What is coming carries weight, and it will bring hidden things into the light. Some of what is revealed will bring you relief. Some of it will sit uncomfortably in your spirit. All of it is necessary. I am not trying to frighten you. I am trying to wake you. There is a difference between fear and awakening, and you must learn it tonight. Fear scatters you. Awakening gathers you. Fear makes you run from the truth. Awakening lets you stand inside it without breaking. You have been asking for change. Perhaps you never said it aloud, but I heard it all the same. It lived in the way you sighed when no one was near. It lived in the restlessness you could not explain, the sense that your life had drifted from its course. You wanted something to move. You wanted something to finally break open in your favor. Tonight is connected to that desire, but it will not arrive the way you imagined. You pictured change coming gently, like a door swinging open. Sometimes it comes like a stone dropped into still water. Sometimes the path to your breakthrough begins with something that shakes your comfort and forces your eyes open. Do not despise the shaking. It is the beginning of the answer. I have watched you carry burdens in silence. You smiled where it was expected. You said you were fine when you were not. You held yourself together in front of others and came apart quietly when the day was done. I saw all of it. Not one hidden hour escaped me. I know the thoughts that circle you late at night, the questions about direction, the wondering whether your effort matters, the fatigue that sits deeper than sleep can reach. I am not distant from any of this. I have been closer to you in those hours than you dared to believe. That is why I am speaking with such force now. I refuse to let you meet what is coming without understanding what it means. A shepherd does not whisper when the flock drifts toward a cliff in the dark. He raises his voice. My voice is raised tonight because you are precious to me, not because you have failed me. There is a situation near you that has not been fully revealed. It may involve a person. It may involve a decision. It may involve a truth that has been kept from you, deliberately or not. Tonight, something about it comes into the light, and once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. You may feel surprised. You may feel shocked. Let the feeling pass through you without ruling you. Remember what I am telling you in this hour. Nothing revealed tonight is outside my knowledge. I permitted it to surface now, because now is when you are strong enough to face it. Do not react out of fear when things begin to unfold. Stay calm. Stay rooted. Fear will urge you to act quickly, to speak sharply, to decide in haste. Wisdom will tell you to be still and let the truth finish arriving. Choose stillness. I am with you in it. What feels shocking is not sent to harm you. It is sent to redirect you. It is a turning of the road, not a collapse of the road. If this truth had stayed buried longer, it would have cost you far more than the discomfort of seeing it now. I am sparing you a deeper wound by allowing a smaller one. You have ignored your inner knowing before. You felt the quiet resistance in your spirit and talked yourself out of it. You let others explain away what you sensed. That is why I speak louder now. Tonight, when that knowing rises in you, trust it. I placed it in you for this very hour. Hold this close as the evening deepens. There is a blessing folded inside this moment, even if it does not look like one at first. What shocks you can also free you. What disrupts you can open a door you could never have found on your own. You are being positioned, not punished. Declare your amen out loud if you believe my word is reaching you tonight. Now let me tell you how it will begin. The first sign will seem small, almost easy to miss if you are not paying attention. A conversation that feels slightly off, a word that arrives unexpectedly, a feeling that rises stronger than it should. These are not accidents. They are signals, and I am guiding your attention toward them. Pay attention tonight, not with anxious watching, but with a settled alertness. Notice what is said around you. Notice what is not said. Notice your own reactions, because even they will teach you something. Everything that happens in these hours carries meaning, and each piece is pointing you toward a new direction. There is someone connected to your life whose intentions have not been clear. You may have trusted them fully, or you may have felt a quiet unease and chosen to set it aside because looking closer felt too costly. Tonight, something about that connection comes into focus, and when it does, you will see them as they are, not as you hoped they were. Do not be afraid of this. Clarity about a person is not cruelty, it is protection. I am not showing you this to break your heart. I am showing you so that your trust can finally rest where it is deserved and be withdrawn from where it is not. I know that part of you resists this. You have grown comfortable with certain people and certain arrangements, even the ones that quietly drained you. Comfort can be a kind master and a worse jailer. It keeps you in rooms you were meant to leave. What feels shocking tonight is the sound of a lock opening, not a door slamming. I am removing what does not belong in your future. Hear that plainly. Not everything near you is meant to travel with you. Some things were given for a season to teach you, to sharpen you, to reveal you to yourself. When their purpose is finished, I let them fall away. Do not stitch back together what I am unfastening. And there is something else stirring, not around you, but within you. You have held back your voice for a long time. You swallowed your truth to keep the peace. You made yourself smaller so others would stay comfortable. Tonight will stir the part of you that refuses to stay silent any longer. That inner shift matters as much as anything happening outside you. A hidden truth revealed in the world means little if the truth inside you stays buried. Both are rising tonight. Let them rise together. When things begin to unfold, expect your emotions to arrive all at once. Confusion and relief. Fear and a strange, unexplainable peace. This mixture is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is what truth feels like when it first lands. Truth shakes the ground before it steadies it. Do not run from these feelings. Do not pour them into distraction or bury them under busyness. Let them move through you like weather. They are guiding you toward a deeper understanding of your path, and they will settle sooner than you think. Remember this as the night continues. You are not being punished. You are not being abandoned. I know how quickly your mind reaches for those explanations when life shakes. Put them down. What is happening is a process, and the process is drawing you closer to where you are meant to stand. Even the parts that feel uncomfortable are working for your good. I do not waste discomfort. I do not spend your pain cheaply. If I allow a night like this, it is because what it produces in you outweighs what it costs you. There is a pattern in your life that breaks tonight. You have lived inside it so long that you stopped seeing it. It wears different faces, this pattern. Sometimes it looks like the same kind of person arriving with a different name. Sometimes it is the same disappointment wearing new clothes. The shape repeats, and each time it repeats, it holds you a little longer. Tonight you will see the pattern clearly for the first time. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. That is how change truly begins. Not with effort first, but with sight. A man cannot leave a maze he does not know he is standing in. You have asked me for answers in your lost moments. You wondered why certain doors kept closing no matter how hard you pushed. Why certain feelings would not leave no matter how you reasoned with them. Why the same ending kept finding you. Tonight is connected to those questions. What is revealed will begin to answer them. The understanding will not come all at once. I rarely hand you the whole answer in a single hour, because you were not built to carry it that way. It will form gradually, the way light fills a room at dawn. But it will form, and you will know it is from me. I am asking you to trust me through the parts that do not yet make sense. Trust is not the same as having answers. Trust is believing that I see what you cannot, and that I love you enough to act on what I see. Hold that trust tonight, and you will find steadiness in hours that would once have undone you. There is also an opportunity hidden inside this moment. It will not look obvious at first, but whenever something false is removed, space opens for something true to enter. Whenever a hidden thing is revealed, ground is cleared for building. The new thing meant for you is already moving toward you. The old had to be cleared first. You have been stronger than you realize. You have faced things that could have broken you, and here you stand, still listening for my voice. That same strength will carry you through whatever unfolds tonight. You will not fall apart. I will not allow it. As the hours pass, guard your thoughts. Fear will try to distort what you see, stretching shadows into monsters. Refuse it. Stand on what is real. I am with you. I am ahead of you, and nothing tonight escapes my hand. If this word is reaching your spirit, say, I believe, and let heaven hear it. Something else is happening beneath the surface of this night. A release has begun in your life. Something you have gripped for too long is losing its hold on you. It may be a thought you kept rehearsing, a belief about yourself that was never true, a connection that stopped feeding you long ago. Tonight, that release becomes visible. Do not resist what needs to leave, even when it feels familiar. Familiarity is not the same as belonging. Your hands were made to hold what I am giving, not to clutch what I am taking. When you release what is no longer meant for you, you make room for what is. Empty hands are not a loss. They are readiness. There is a truth about your own life that you have sensed but never fully accepted. You have circled it for months, maybe years, glancing at it and looking away. Tonight brings it close enough that looking away stops working. This is not to overwhelm you. It is to end the exhaustion of pretending. Once you accept what is real, a clarity you have been missing will settle over you like morning air. You're also approaching a moment of choice. It will not look dramatic when it arrives. It may come dressed as a small decision, a single word spoken or withheld, a step taken or refused. But it carries weight far beyond its size. Your response in that moment will shape what follows for a long time. Choose from calm, not from fear. Let your inner knowing lead, because I am in it. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight, upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the harvest I am preparing. Now hear what follows the altar. Abraham climbed a mountain with everything he loved and came down with more than he carried up. The widow of Zarephath gave her last handful of flour to a hungry prophet, and her jar did not run dry through the whole famine. This is how my kingdom has always worked. The open hand is filled. The clenched fist stays empty, holding only what it already had. You have been conditioned to doubt yourself, especially when the ground feels uncertain. Voices from your past taught you to hesitate, to ask permission, to wait for someone wiser to confirm what you already knew. Tonight, I'm calling you past that doubt. The clarity you need will not come from outside voices. It rises from the place in you where my guidance lives, quietly waiting for you to listen. There may come an hour tonight when you feel tested. Everything in you will want to fall back into the old way, the old reaction, the old silence. That hour matters more than you know. It is not there to defeat you. It is there to show you how much you have changed. When you choose differently, even once, a cycle that has followed you for years loses its grip. I saw the effort it took to hold yourself together in seasons no one else understood. I saw the battles you fought without witnesses, the mornings you rose when rising felt impossible. None of that was invisible to me, and none of it was wasted. It built something in you plank by plank that tonight will begin to prove. Your perspective is already shifting. Can you feel it? Things that confused you are starting to arrange themselves into sense. This is not because the facts changed. It is because you are seeing from higher ground now. From the valley, a road looks like chaos. From the hilltop, you can see where every bend was leading. There is a renewal forming around you even while something else is ending. This is my way. I do not tear down without building. The same night that closes one door is already laying the threshold of another. Endings and beginnings are not enemies. They are two hands doing one work. You are not meant to stay where you have been. I say it again so it settles into your bones. You are not meant to stay there. There is more ahead, more growth, more peace, more purpose than the narrow room you have been living in. Tonight is a step toward it, even if the step feels unsteady. Stay inside the present moment as things unfold. Do not sprint ahead into imagined tomorrows, and do not circle back into old regrets. What is in front of you is enough. Respond to it with awareness, one thing at a time, and you will stay aligned with the path I am walking you down. And remember this above everything else that happens tonight. You are not alone. Not in the revelation, not in the choice, not in the release. I am with you in every moment of it, nearer than your own breathing. My presence does not flicker when circumstances shake. Tonight is not something to fear. It is something to understand. What feels shocking is only a hidden thing stepping into the light, and hidden things lose their power the moment light touches them. They can no longer confuse you, steer you, or quietly rule you. That is what clarity does. It does not just inform you, it frees you. You are being prepared for something larger than this night. Every experience you have walked through is part of that preparation, including the ones that made no sense at the time. Tonight belongs to that work. It is bringing you closer to the place I have been leading you toward all along, one revelation at a time. Let me speak now about what is rising in you, because the night's work is not only about what falls away. There is a strength in you that has been waiting below the surface, quiet and patient, like a root under winter ground. You did not notice it, because your eyes were fixed on your struggles. But the struggles themselves were feeding it. Tonight, it breaks the surface. You will feel it first in how you respond. Something that would once have flattened you will land differently. You will hear hard words without crumbling. You will meet uncertainty without unraveling. Do not rush past this. Stop and recognize it, because it is evidence. You are not who you were. Your emotions will surface tonight as well, and I want you ready for them. Feelings you pressed down for months are coming up for air. Grief you never gave room to. Anger you judged yourself for carrying. Longing you were ashamed to admit. They rise not to drown you, but to leave you. What is felt fully can finally be released. You believed you had to carry everything alone. You wore that belief like a coat you never took off. Someone taught it to you long ago, that asking for help was weakness, that your weight was yours only. It was never true. I have been beside you under every load, waiting for you to hand me my share. Tonight, hand it over, not with a grand gesture, just a quiet inward letting go, the kind no one else sees. Say within yourself, "This is too heavy, and it was never mine to carry alone." That small surrender will do more for you than a year of striving. There is also a matter of your worth that must be settled tonight. You have priced yourself too low for too long. You accepted treatment you should have refused. You gave your best to people who offered their least. You called it patience, or loyalty, or love. Some of it was, but some of it was simply forgetting whose child you are. I formed you with intention. I do not make filler. I do not create placeholders. When you shrink yourself to fit spaces that were always too small, you are not being humble. You are contradicting your maker. Tonight, that contradiction ends. Watch how this settles into your voice. You will notice yourself speaking with fewer apologies wrapped around your words. Saying what is true without dressing it in softness, it does not need. This is not harshness. It is honesty finally standing upright. The people who love the smaller version of you may flinch. The ones who love you truly will rejoice. Fear deserves a word of its own tonight, because fear has governed more of your life than you like to admit. It sat in the council of your decisions. It edited your words before you spoke them. It talked you out of doors I had opened and talked you into staying in rooms I had finished with. Fear has been a false shepherd, and you followed its voice because it sounded like wisdom. Hear the difference now. My wisdom says wait, but it never says hide. My wisdom says be careful, but it never says be small. When a voice tells you that safety lies in shrinking, in silence, in staying where you are, slowly fading, that voice is not mine. Test every voice against this, and fear will lose its disguise. Tonight, fear loses more than its disguise. It loses its throne, not because it will stop speaking. It may whisper for years yet, but because you will stop obeying. There is a difference between hearing fear and following it. From this night, You hear it the way you hear rain on a roof. Present, but not in charge. Uncertainty may still visit you in the hours ahead. That is natural. You are entering ground you have not walked before, and new ground always feels unsteady at first. But uncertainty does not mean you are lost. A sailor in open water is not lost simply because he cannot see the shore. He has his star. You have me. I want you to notice too what happens in your body as this night does its work. The tightness you have carried in your chest, the bracing you did without realizing, the way you slept with your fists closed. Some of that begins to loosen tonight. Peace is not only an idea, it settles into muscle and bone. Let it. There is a peace coming that will puzzle you, because it will arrive in the middle of everything rather than after it. You expected peace to come when problems ended. Instead, it will come while they still stand, quiet and unreasonable and real. That is how you will know it is from me. The world's peace waits for calm weather. Mine walks on the water. You have been asking for clarity without using the word. Every time you said, "I just need to know." Every time you turned a question over at midnight, you were asking. Tonight is my answer beginning. Not the whole answer. The first light of it. Receive it without demanding the rest at once. And there is something in you that is ready to move, even while another part of you reaches for the brakes. Learn to tell those two voices apart. The readiness is your strength speaking, the deep knowing I planted in you. The hesitation is old habit. When you feel that forward pull tonight, do not argue with it. It is not recklessness. It is the door standing open. You were not built for the shore you have been clinging to. There is deeper water with your name on it. More growth than you have yet touched. More peace than you have yet tasted. More purpose than you have dared to want out loud. Every realization this night gives you is a plank in the bridge toward it. So stay present. Do not manage what I am doing. Do not grip the outcome. Let each hour reveal what it carries, and answer only what is actually in front of you. That is how you walk with me through a night like this, one honest step at a time. Now I want to speak with you about time, because your quarrel with me has mostly been a quarrel about timing. You believed in my power. What you doubted was my calendar. You watched others receive what you had prayed longer for, and you wondered if your requests had been set aside in some forgotten corner of heaven. Nothing of yours was set aside. Hear this clearly. But my timing does not answer to your urgency, and there is mercy in that, though it has not felt like mercy. Fruit forced ripe is bitter. Bread pulled early from the fire is raw at the center. Some of what you asked for, had it come when you demanded it, would have arrived before you could hold it without being harmed by it. Consider the field a farmer lets lie fallow. To an impatient eye it looks abandoned, a waste of good ground. But beneath the surface the soil is mending, gathering back what years of harvest drew out of it. Your quiet seasons were not abandonment. The ground of your life was being made able to sustain what is coming, so that the next harvest does not exhaust you. Consider the river. It does not travel in straight lines, and from the bank its bends look like wandering. But the river is not lost. It is finding the one course the land will allow, moving around stone it cannot break, cutting slowly through what it can. Your path has bent the same way. What you called detours were the water finding its course. Think of Joseph in the pit, then in the prison. Between the dream and the throne stretched years that looked like a mistake. Yet the road that seemed to lead away from the promise was the only road that led into it. Pharaoh's palace could not be reached from his father's favorite sun tent. It could only be reached through Egypt. You have had your Egypt. It was a road, not a verdict. So when tonight's shaking tempts you to say, "I am too late," remember Lazarus. His sisters kept the count of days, and by their count, hope had expired. I stood at that tomb on the 4th day, not the 1st, because I wanted them to know there's no such thing as too late where I am standing. The stone rolls away when I say it rolls away. What men call finished, I call waiting. What they seal and walk away from, I visit at the appointed hour. Keep that close whenever your circumstances try to hand you a verdict I never signed. Trust the process even where you cannot trace it. A weaver's work seen from underneath looks like knots and crossed threads without reason. The pattern only shows from above. You have been looking at your life from underneath. I see it from above. And I tell you, the threads are not tangled. They are placed. In the days after tonight, you will begin to notice small openings, an unexpected kindness, a door left ajar that was always locked before, a thought that arrives with unusual weight and will not leave. Do not dismiss these as coincidence. They are stepping stones, set down one at a time, and each one bears your next portion of the path. Step on them as they come. Do not stand still demanding to see the whole crossing before you lift your foot. I light the step you are on and the one after it. That has always been my way. Enough light for obedience. Not so much that you no longer need me. You will also find that waiting itself changes for you now. There is a kind of waiting that gnaws, and a kind that rests. The first watches the road with clenched teeth. The second sets the table because it knows the guest is coming. From tonight, I am moving you from the first kind into the second. Same road, different heart. Others may not understand your calm. They will look at your circumstances, then at your face, and find the two do not match. Let them wonder. You are not required to explain a peace you did not manufacture. Some things are understood only by those who have stood in their own long night and heard my voice inside it. And do not envy another person's season. The tree that blossoms first is not the greatest tree in the orchard. Each one answers to its own appointed month. When you measure your progress against someone else's spring, you slander your own winter, and your winter has been doing faithful work. There is a harvest ahead of you, and I want you to be ready for how it arrives. Harvests rarely announce themselves. They begin with one ripe thing where yesterday there was none. Then another. Then suddenly the field is heavy, and the question is no longer whether there is fruit, but whether your arms can carry it. Prepare your arms. Stretch your expectation wider than your circumstances. But understand what readiness means. It does not mean perfection. It means position. Be found where I told you to stand, doing what I gave you to do, with your heart soft toward me. The rain falls on the positioned field. It cannot fill barns that were built in some other country of wishing. Tonight is part of the positioning. That is why the shaking was allowed. Some things had to fall from your hands so they would be empty at the right moment. Some sight had to be restored so you would recognize the opening when it appeared. Everything converges. Nothing about this night stands apart from the whole. So keep walking, even in the dark stretch. The dark stretch is still road. It does not stop being road because you cannot see its edges. Feel for my hand and take the next step, and let the step after that wait its turn. This is how deserts are crossed. Not in one heroic day, but step upon step, with manna enough for each morning. State, I trust out loud if you believe my timing over your own. Now let me show you who you are becoming, because tonight is not only an ending, it is an unveiling. The person who wakes tomorrow will carry the same name and the same face, but something in the foundation will have shifted. You are crossing from one way of being into another, and I want you to recognize the crossing while it happens. The first mark of this new season is a quiet confidence. Not the loud kind that performs for a room, the kind that sits still in you like ballast in a ship, unseen but steadying everything. It will not need applause to survive. It will not collapse when someone doubts you. It is rooted in what you know, not in what others confirm. You will notice it in small ways at first. You will make a decision without polling 5 people for permission. You will let a criticism pass through you without building a house for it. You will hear no and remain whole. These small moments are not small. They are the new foundation bearing weight. Your priorities are already rearranging themselves. Things that once consumed your attention are quietly losing their flavor. Conversations you used to chase now feel like eating air. Places that once drew you now leave you restless to go home. Do not mourn this. Nothing is wrong with you. The appetite changes when the person changes. What is fading makes room for what is arriving. You will find yourself hungry for depth where you once settled for noise. Hungry for what is real where you once accepted what was convenient. Hungry for my presence in ways that surprise you. Feed that hunger. It is the truest compass you own. There is a purpose taking shape in you, and I want to speak carefully about it. You have asked what you are here for, sometimes with words, sometimes with a long stare at the ceiling. The answer has been forming in you all along, built from everything you have lived. Nothing you endured stands outside of it. The compassion in you was carved by the hours no one comforted you. You know how to sit with the brokenhearted because you know which words help and which words wound. That knowledge was purchased at a price, and it was not purchased for nothing. There are people ahead of you whom only your particular scars can reach. Do not ask me for the whole blueprint tonight. Purpose is not handed over like a map unrolled all at once. It is revealed the way a road reveals itself to the one walking it. What I will give you is the next assignment, the next person, the next act of obedience. Walk in what you have, and more will meet you on the way. You will also stand differently among people now. Some will sense the change before you name it. A steadiness in your presence, a refusal to be rushed, an absence of the old anxious edge. They may not have language for it, but they will feel it, because alignment carries its own quiet authority. Not everyone will celebrate this. Understand that now, so it does not wound you later. Some people had arranged their comfort around your smallness. Your silence made room for their voice. Your bending made their rigidity workable. When you stand upright, arrangements like that come under strain. Let them. You are not responsible for the comfort others built on your compromise. But watch too for the ones who draw nearer. There are people appointed to this next season of your life. Some you have already met, and some still on their way. They will recognize what you carry, and you will recognize them by a certain rest you feel in their company. Iron meeting iron, without injury. Give those connections your best attention. You are also done from tonight with begging for reassurance. That constant checking, that need to be told again and again that you are enough, that it will be all right, that you have not been forgotten. It came from an old wound, and the wound is closing. In its place grows a settled knowing that does not need hourly confirmation. This does not mean you will never wobble. It means the wobble will no longer become a collapse. You will feel doubt brush past you and remain standing. That is not pride. That is what a healed thing feels like. Healed bones do not need the crutch, though the memory of limping lingers a while. Acceptance is doing its quiet work in you as well. You are making peace with what was, not because it was good, but because arguing with the past was costing you the present. Some questions from your history will never receive their answers on this side of eternity. You are learning to leave them at my feet and live anyway. That is not defeat. That is wisdom with the dust of the road on its shoes. And closure is coming to things that hung unfinished. Some of it arrives tonight in what is revealed. Some of it arrives simply because you stop reopening what I have sealed. Not every ending needs a ceremony. Some doors close without a sound, and the proof they are closed is the peace you feel walking away from them. Guard this new self in the days ahead, because old patterns will send for you. The old cravings for approval, the old reflex to shrink, the old habit of carrying what was never yours. They will knock, wearing familiar faces. You are not obligated to answer. Recognition is your defense. You cannot be quietly pulled into what you clearly see. I am telling you all of this before it fully unfolds, so that when it comes, you will know it was not chance. You will remember that I named it in advance, on this night, in this word spoken over you. And that memory will anchor you when the changes stretch you. Let it be a stone of remembrance set up on the night everything turned. Now hear my final word for this night, because morning is coming, and I want you ready for it. What happens tonight is not meant to live as a memory you revisit. It is meant to live as ground you build on. Many receive a word and are moved for an evening. Few let the word move them for a lifetime. Be among the few. When the sun rises, the world will look ordinary again. The same rooms, the same obligations, the same faces at the same tables. Do not be deceived by the sameness. You are not returning to your old life. You're walking through your old surroundings as a new person, and that changes everything the surroundings can do to you. There will be a temptation in a day or a week to explain this night away, to call it a mood, a strange evening, a wave of feeling that passed. That temptation is the thief coming for the seed. Guard what was planted in you. Speak of it to yourself when doubt argues. Write nothing off that I have written in. Remember what was revealed and hold it without bitterness. If a person was shown to you as they truly are, thank me for the sight, and do not spend your strength hating them. Bitterness would chain you to the very thing I separated you from. Release them into my hands. My justice needs no help from your resentment, and your future has no room for its weight. Remember also what rose in you, the voice that stood up, the strength that surfaced, the peace that arrived without permission from your circumstances. These are not visitors. They are residents now. When old situations try to summon the old you, let the new residents answer the door. Walk slowly through the coming days, not hesitantly, slowly. There is a difference. Hesitation is fear wearing the mask of caution. Slowness is wisdom refusing to be rushed. Decisions will present themselves, some quickly. Take them to me first. A moment of asking spares a season of untangling, and keep watch over your mouth in this next stretch. What I have shown you tonight is not for every ear. Some revelations are bread for your own table, not seed for every field. Joseph told his dream too widely and gained years of trouble for it. Let your changed life speak first. Words can follow later when the fruit is visible and no argument is needed. You will stumble somewhere ahead. I tell you this not to discourage you, but to disarm the shame before it arrives. A stumble on the new road is not a return to the old one. When it happens, do not lie in the dust, composing speeches about your failure. Take my hand, stand, and continue. My mercies are not annual or monthly. They are new every morning, and they will be new on that morning too. Care for the ones I have placed around you, the ones you love, and the ones you carry in prayer. Some of them are watching your life more closely than you know, reading it like a letter. The steadiness you walk in after this night will preach to them without a single sermon. Your peace will make them thirsty. Your light will make them curious about the flame. But do not appoint yourself the manager of anyone else's awakening. You cannot shake anyone awake. You can only live awake in front of them. Pray for them. Be patient the way I have been patient with you. Remember how many quiet years I called before you turned. Give others the same room, and trust me to work in the hours you cannot see. There is provision arranged for the road ahead of you. I do not send anyone into an assignment without supplies. Manna did not begin until the wilderness required it, and yours will meet you the same way, exactly when the need becomes real, and not an hour before. Do not measure tomorrow's road against today's supplies. That arithmetic has frightened you long enough. The provider walks with you, and the storehouse travels with the owner. And know this about the ones who wronged you, the ones whose faces still visit your thoughts. I saw everything. Nothing that was done to you in secret is hidden from me. You do not need to carry the ledger any longer. Hand me the accounts. Some debts I will settle in ways you will witness, and some in ways you never will. But not one line has escaped my reading. You are free to live unburdened by the arithmetic of old wounds. What I want most for you in this next season is nearness. Not more religion, not busier service. Nearness. Speak with me in the plain words of your ordinary day. Bring me your questions before they become worries, and your worries before they become storms. The door between us has no lock on my side. It never did. I am with you when the road is obvious and when it is hidden. I am with you in the rooms where you are celebrated and the rooms where you are misunderstood. I am with you in the strength of your morning and the honesty of your midnight. There is no hour you can enter where I have not already arrived. So step into what comes next without dread. The night that frightened you was carrying gifts. The shaking you braced against was setting things in order. You will look back on this evening further down the road and recognize it as a hinge on which your whole direction turned. And you will be glad you did not turn away from my voice when it called. My child, we have walked a long road together to reach this night, and the road ahead is brighter than any stretch behind you. Lift your head, loosen your grip on what is finished, open your hands to what is beginning. The old has served its purpose, and the new is already at the door. Go now toward your rest, and let sleep come without guarding against the dark. Nothing prowls this night that has authority over you. My watch does not end when your eyes close. I will be awake over you until morning, and in the morning I will still be speaking. Listen for me in the light, the way you listened in the dark. Receive my peace now, not as an idea, but as a covering. Let it settle over your mind, your body, your home, and everyone under your roof. What was spoken over you tonight is sealed, and no hand can unseal what I have closed. You are known. You are kept. You are mine. If you are ready to walk into what I have prepared, declare, "Yes, Lord, I am ready," and let that be your first step.